Part of the reasons why ZANU PF has failed to transform the economic, social, and any meaningful development in Zimbabwe, it is because of the caliber as well as the reasoning of the ministers entrusted with the job to carry out that particular task. If you look at the speech that has been said by the Minister of Home Affairs, that is Kazembe, who was at the heart of Emerson Dambudzo Mnangagwa faction. He has said that military as well as police, CIO, and also prison services, in fact, all security cluster or government jobs must be reserved for ZANU PF members. And this is coming from a minister, a member of the account to the parliament, a member of the government, not only just a political individual, politically affiliated individual, but we are speaking about a member of the executive, says that those jobs should be reserved to ZANU PF members. Greetings and welcome to your lovely channel, the Hlonipani Global News. If you're watching us for the very first time, please do remember to press the red or black subscribe button so that next time when we beam live, you become the very first one to watch us. Let's hear this ZANU PF minister. That's why I call them ZANU PF minister rather than Zimbabwean ministers, because of the words that they speak. These people, they don't have the nation at heart, but they have ZANU PF interest at heart. Let's hear Kazembe saying this hogwash to ZANU PF members. So, in simple terms, I didn't want to say this, but he concluded it for me that giving jobs only to ZANU PF members, to be military personnel, to be Zimbabwe Republic police members, to be part of, all government jobs given as a favor to ZANU PF members. That is what is actually contained in that is what 2030 term extension for Emerson Dambudzo Mnangagwa is all about. He calls them favor that ZANU, councillors as well as MPs should do ZANU PF members a favor. If they've got qualifications, they should be the priority to be employed as military personnel. They should be given priority to be employed as also members of the Zimbabwe Republic Police. Of course, in simple terms, what he's trying to say is that all government jobs that are available should be occupied by ZANU PF members. And we then go to call Zimbabwe a republic. There is no republic that operates in such a manner, and he renders individuals that support opposition as people who are actually against their nation, criticizing. No, they are not criticizing the nation. It must be properly contextualized. They are criticizing the government. And Zimbabweans, if they elect their government, they should have a right, and that right should be respected without intimidation, without exclusion. They should have the right to hold the government, any government, accountable That is why 5 years in Zimbabwe, before Mnangagwa took the elections away, every 5 years in Zimbabwe, or any democratic country, between 4 to 5 years, there are elections that are conducted to elect the new government. Why? Because it is understood that after 5 years, having accessed, or after 4 years, having assessed the performance of the government, the people of Zimbabwe should be given an opportunity to have a say on whether they want it to continue or not. By the way, what Kazembe is saying is what ZANU PF, it has been the policy of ZANU PF. There were no stupid ministers who could utter these words before. That is why we could only speak about them, maybe people who supported the opposition, people who were opposing the regime that has never been, in fact, voted by the people of Zimbabwe. What ZANU PF does today is definitely not the will of the majority of Zimbabwe. That is why when it comes to elections, it will never be voted by the people of Zimbabwe, because ZANU PF does not know how to sell an ideology that actually put the interest of the people of Zimbabwe. Since 1980, they have never won elections. That is the honest truth. They were given power by the British colonialists because Robert Gabriel Mugabe managed to manipulate them. And from then, they maintained power through rigging elections up to today. And now, because elections have been giving Emerson Tambutso Mnangagwa heartache, because almost all Zimbabweans, they don't want him. They did not even want him to give him the first chance. And that is why elections, he noticed that they give him a lot of stress, and he is abolishing the elections. And these people are doing this publicly. Now they have abolished the elections through the nonsensical Constitutional Amendment Act number 3 of 2026. They want to keep Zimbabweans caged. They say to be in the military. These are the jobs that pays peanuts in Zimbabwe. A military personnel in Zimbabwe earns a quarter of what a maid earns in South Africa. We cannot speak even about the first world countries. It may be a tenth of what they earn in the first world countries. So this is what a military, and it's the only job where you can actually open a bank account at CAPS, not these fancy bank accounts, because after deductions you may be left with $50, especially if you go to a bank that is actually reserved for rich people. Maybe people who opens bank account in those banks as ZANU PF members who are actually stealing the money that is meant for the people of Zimbabwe. So this is what in fact has been doing. The only difference now with individuals such as Kazembe taking the mic, going publicly and speaking in such a manner, it is because one of their level of education. Don't worry about these the doctorates that they are receiving under Emerson Tambutso Mnangagwa. There is no credibility in those doctorates. If investigations are to be done, you will discover that if really this is a person with a doctorate, you should gauge them with their level of reasoning. Has he improved in terms of reasoning? He is worse. He is just a bootlicker. There is high probability he attained that doctorate through bootlicking, not reading the book and actually doing theses at university. No. If you research, you will discover that maybe most probably the research was done by another person and his name was just inserted there. You judge, you gauge an individual with the level of reasoning, the applicability of what he has learned at university. Is he able to actually properly articulate it? Is he able to demonstrate that he's a better person There is absolutely nowhere where he has demonstrated that. That is, a normal minister in a normal country cannot speak in such a manner, because the words that he uttered are unconstitutional. And in a normal country, the words that have been spoken by Kazembe, they attract firing, unquestionable. But because even the president that we are speaking about, if he is doing what he is doing, the wife being allowed to manipulate the military to do extrajudiciary actually measures on individuals targeted, what then do you expect the caliber of those ministers? It's just like the likes of Ziambi. You can tell that he was a desperate drug addict who was incorporated into ZANU PF because he could actually hound the local communities. That is why in his respective constituency he would never be voted. And Kazembe has never even been voted. That's why you would hear him saying in one of the audios that I played on this channel some time ago, saying that they slept the whole night rigging the elections because they were beaten. Voting, to make sure that the number surpasses the number that has been attained by the person who was contesting with him under the ticket of the opposition. So we are dealing with individuals who are not electable, individuals who are very dull, individuals who do not reason, individuals who have bogus certificates, obviously attained because of their proximity to the current leader. And also we understand the standing of this leader in terms of capability and capacity. He is not able. So these mediocre statements attributed to this Minister of Home Affairs, Kazembe, is a clear demonstration of actually the level of reasoning and also his leadership. There is no leader. In fact, to say leadership, there is no leader out of Kazembe, because what he was telling people is in contradiction with the Constitution of 2013. A minister should actually do or execute in line with the Constitution of Zimbabwe. If Zimbabwe was not a banana republic rendered by Emerson Tambutso Mnangagwa to be, I'm telling you, he would be in hot soup. And if we had a president elected by people fearing that in the next elections, he may not garner the necessary votes because of the utterances of Kazembe, definitely that president was going to fire him the very minute he sees this video surfacing on social media. But because we have got a government that is anti-people, which is hated by the people, and has eradicated elections, and they want to establish a kingdom in a republic, that is why we see these cool fools acting in such a manner. Thank you very much for watching us. If you're watching us for the very first time, please do remember to press the red or black subscribe button so that next time when we beam live, you become the very first one to watch us. You can financially support this channel by pressing the join button and be part of our members who are the heartbeat of this channel. You can equally do so by pressing the thanks button and send